which is 3 times 3. I see a pair of 3s, so I'm going to circle, cancel. Circled one comes outside with the negative and make -3. And then this guy, this leftover, this leftover guy here is going to stay inside. Okay, 12. 4 and 3, 2 and 2. I see a pair of 2s. This 2 is going to come out and multiply with the 3 that's already out there. 6 root 3. And then 2 root 3 is as simplified as it will get. Contrary to popular belief on your test yesterday, you do not multiply the numbers in front, you add them. So -3 plus 6 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Square root. Also, if you add square roots like this, the root part does not just cancel out. It's like -3x plus 6x plus 2x. Okay. Now, this one, you multiply the outside stuff and multiply the inside stuff. So -4 times a negative is +4. And 10 times 2 is 20. And then 20 is 5 times 4, which is 2 times 2. Pair of 2, circle cancel. Circle 2 comes out and multiplies with the 4. And the 5 is left over inside. Okay. According to your test, we're still working on this, so that's okay. Okay. Let's look at the agenda for today. That's the opposite direction of the thing. Okay, so we're doing 9-1 to 9-6. You guys already did 9-1. That was our human number line problem. And then 9-2 to 9-6 is basically middle school review of inequalities. So it's basically which way is the alligator facing? Like, how do I write the inequality? That kind of thing. Homework is 7 through 13, skip 11, and the teacher says write the largest number you can. And the little kid wrote a gigantical one. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. All right. Get the notebook ready. You're done with the packet, by the way. Packet can go away. Okay, and then set that up in your notebook, please. couple of really important announcements. First is I love this unit. Why? Because I have two stuffed animals at home named Crocky. One of them is Big Crocky, one of them is Baby Crocky. Does anybody know why that makes sense for this unit? Okay, I also bought this crocodile stamp just for this unit. And because I'm a giant nerd pants, I got some crocodile posters. So here is your greater than crocodile, and here is your less than crocodile. But just as adorable, here is your equal to crocodile. Have you ever even seen an equal to crocodile before? No. My husband's gonna help me put these up. Coach, she printed them for me ages ago. Ages. So, Big Crocky and Baby Crocky are two of my favorite stuffed animals. They're both things that you win from Marine World. I know it's not called Marine World anymore, but I've lived here for quite some time. Anybody's family still call it Marine World? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so what happened was we were there. I actually won the big panther up there at Marine World too, at the ring toss. But I won Big Crocky one day when we were doing the one with the bucket toss, like it's got those like orchard buckets in and you put the ball in and it like, and then I mean I may have fallen in love with Big Crocky. And so then I asked my students, this is several years ago, if any of them were going to go back there, if they could try to win another one. And one of them actually worked there. So she went over to like that apartment where they have the animals, stuffed animals, not live ones. And she looked around and they had a little one. And his name is Baby Crocky. And Big Crocky, he gets dressed up for Halloween. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure I was a crocodile. So yeah, there's me this Halloween, if you remember, in my it's good stuff. But this is Crocky right here. And this is his Halloween costume. And he's the Grim Reaper. Yeah, and he's got his little scythe there, and he's got a little belt on with his for his Grim Reaper robe. Anyway, that's him. It's you have to be yourself. That's what I've learned. And then this crocodile, I like to use him while I'm teaching, and he's two-sided, so I could flip him over and he can be the greater than crocodile. Yeah. I'm ready for chapter 9, people. I am ready. Not even messing around with chapter 9. When I was a little kid, we went to Florida and there's this place called Gatorland. And they'll like take a pole and put a full chicken on it and like extend it out. And these giant crocodiles are like, ah. Yeah, it's pretty scary when you're like 7. What? Literally, it was just like boardwalks, and you walked around on these like elevated boardwalks and just looked down at crocodiles in the swamp. Oh, and you could hold a baby one with its mouth taped shut, and like some kind of constrictor snake, which I was not about to get anywhere near. Well, I don't know why. For me, a crocodile's fine, but a constrictor snake is absolute no go. But okay. Anyway, all right. So, do you guys already see where this is going? Okay. So, how many solutions does an equation have usually? Just one. Okay. But how many solutions does an inequality have? Infinite. Okay. And in this case, think about, this is actually the first one we did on our human number line. Remember, everybody stepped forward all the way to Rowan, who was positive infinity. So there's infinite solutions. Because we're lazy humans, we don't want to write all of the infinite possibilities. So we write an arrow to show that it goes forever. And we write these inequality symbols. So this is very middle school style right here. So what we're going to do is write the inequality. Notice the arrow at the end of this is facing this way. So going in this direction. So I'm going to make my arrow. I'm going to make my crocodile's mouth be like an arrow. You see how the arrow is going like this? And I made the crocodile's mouth go like that. Okay, so I have x is greater than or equal to 1. And there's one more thing I want to talk about. This circle is closed in on purpose. Closed in means it also equals 1. 1 is included. And to show that on our symbols, we draw the little line underneath. When I'm thinking about it, I like to say, okay, it's colored in. That takes more pencil. So drawing that underneath takes more pencil. I don't know. It's kind of silly. Okay, now this one. Arrow is like that. So that means my crocodile's mouth is going to be open this way, same as the arrow. So I have x is less than -1. And notice I did not put the or equal to on this one because my circle's open. Super important that when you guys do this, especially on a quiz or test, exaggerate the open circle so that your teacher with her aging eyes can tell that you mean it's open and not just a dot. Okay, now we're going to do the two, these are easy. We're going to do the two spicy ones. This is arrows pointing in two directions, which means that they're going to have an or in the statement. So this is going to be two inequalities with an or between. So we do this one first. X is less than -3. So notice my arrow matches my inequality symbol. And then this one is X is greater than or equal to 2. You see how this one, I'm going to call this open and I'm going to call that closed. Okay, now this one is an and one, but we don't really write it with the word and. What we do is we say -4 and 2. So we just bring down the numbers on either side. Then you put an X between them and you say X is greater than or equal to -4, but less than or equal to 2. Okay, what I want you to read in your mind here is X is oh crap. Do you see my mistake? I closed it, but it has an open circle. Okay. What I want you to say is X is between -4 and 2, including -4. So those are like the words you would say in your mind if you saw this. X is somewhere between -4 and 2, including -4. You guys have any questions about number 1, 2, or 3? Okay. You good? You sure? Is this stuff you already know, kind of? Do you know the open and closed and things? Okay. We're going to do number 4 and number 6 right next to each other. I know it's weird. And then 5 is going to be the notes, and then we're done. No, no, absolutely not. This is Spanish. This is a wonderful conference, right? So you need to change it immediately. No, number 5 is the note, so I wanted to do it down here. At the end, I'm gonna do number 4 and number 6 out of order, kind of. Number 4, 5, and 6 are all the same thing. Okay. All right. So what? That's a plus. Sorry. Okay. What I want you to do is start this one pretending you have equals. Okay. So step 1 is for all of these inequalities. These are called inequalities in one variable. That just means there's one letter in them. You pretend that you have equals. Okay, so how would I solve this if I had equals? Plus 5 divide by 2, x equals 4. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to make a number line. And you're going to put your answer in the middle of it. You don't have to make a big number line. You just need to make sure that your answer is on there. And then you have to decide if the point that's going to go on the number line is going to be open or closed, depending on the original problem. Is this an open or closed problem? Closed. And by closed, I'm just mean colored in. Okay. Step 1, pretend you have equals and solve. Step 2, plot that point on the number line, either open or closed. Okay, this is where I'm going to lose you if you get easily confused. So this is where you need to listen. We need to decide if our arrow is going to go left or right. Okay, so we test a point. And this is why Mrs. Rice and I and Mr. Madaber keep asking you if something is a solution or if something's on the curve. It's for this. I am going to use 0. I like to test with 0 because it's the easiest number to plug into stuff. But you have to make sure to put whatever you're going to test on your number line, like in the spot where it would go. So you know 0 would be to the left of 4, right? Okay. Okay, so test 0 in the inequality part. So 2 times 0 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 3. So you're testing it in the original thing. Okay, now that part goes away and you have -5 is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so is Crocky going to be happy? No, this is false. Remember, the alligator should be facing the bigger number for a true statement. But the alligator's facing -5 and he's going to be angry with you. Snappy, snap, snappy. Okay, what that means is where we tested at 0 is false. And on the other side of the dot is going to be true. And you want to make your arrow go toward the true side because those are the true solutions. Okay, and then last step, you do what we just did in our middle school problem where you say x is greater than or equal to 4 off of the diagram. Okay, we get 2 more times to practice. Any questions about this before we move on? It's going to get easier, I promise. The hardest part for people is which direction to make the arrow go, and that's the part that we need to work on. Okay, so step 1, pretend it's equals. Solve for x, or whatever letter it is. Okay. Any questions about what I did so far? No? You good? So I pretend equals solve. And then I put a 2 on my number line in the middle. Okay. Open or closed? Open. I also like open because it's like O, like the open circle is an O. Ah, okay. All right. Now, where would 0 be on my number line? It'd be like down here somewhere, right? Just be careful in the negatives. Remember, if it was a -2, it would be like up here. Remember, where does loci go in the number line? The center. Okay, so test 0. You might say, Mrs. Talbot, do you always test 0? The answer is yes, unless my original answer was 0. Then I can't plug that in because it won't tell me which way to move the arrow. It'll just tell me the middle. So I use it every time that I don't get 0 for my answer. Okay, anyway, so 3 times 0 plus 1 is less than 7. 1 is less than 7. Is Crocky happy? Yes. Crocky is happy. It's true. Okay, so this time we have true on the side of 0 and false on the other side. And you always want your arrow to go to true because that's where the true solutions are. Okay, then final answer. X is less than 2. I'm hoping you can kind of see why I wanted to put 4 and 6 right next to each other, because one of them got false, one of them got true. You could see how the arrows are different. Okay, last problem and then we're done. Step 1. Pretend you have equals. You're just going to go into denial for a little while. 3, I cracked myself up. 3 minus 2x equals 1. I put a little bit spicier one in the notes because you have to minus 3 from both sides. Okay, you might want to draw yourself a little picture there. In this problem, I have open, correct? And then I'm just going to put 0 in. By the way, let's pretend that your answer was 5,926. You can just put 0 like right next to it. You don't have to make it like to scale. I don't care about that. And you don't have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I don't care about that either. Okay, any questions about step 1 or step 2? Okay, step 3. is to test a point. I'm going to test 0 every time if I can. Three minus 2 times 0 is less than 1. Three is less than what? False. So okay, so here's the moment of truth. What side of the open circle does the false go on? The right side or the left side? Left side. Beautiful. You want to put it right over top whatever you plugged in. So I plugged in 0, so I want to put that falso right above it. And then the other side is whatever true is in Spanish. I know falso, but I ask every year and they tell me, and then it's like 365 days and then it's gone again. I can't remember Spanish. I just can't do it. Okay, anyway, your arrow is going to go toward the true side every time. Arrow toward the true. That just makes sense. Why would you make your arrow toward the false? Okay, and then step 4. This is so sad because so many children do all of this beautiful work and get here and don't write the final answer, and it makes me so sad. X is greater than 1. Do you guys know why it's greater than? You see the greater than arrow here at the end of the arrow? I just copy and paste, basically. That's not really a thing when you're writing, but you know what I mean.